Hey, glad you could join, man.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks
By the
for
way,
coffee.
is today your birthday?
No. Birthday is March 30th.
March 30th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because
I was making it, so I was trying to decide, like, okay, do I want to do a thing today, like make it a reason to just bring people together?
Yeah.
Or do I want to, I don't know, there was a part of me that felt like, you know, as guys especially, it's like, you and I, we're a little bit different, but it's like guys trying to make new friends in today's world is, I feel like maybe it's ever, but it's just like, it's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, dude.
Right? So what I'm getting at with that is, I kind of felt like there was I needed to do a guys' day, like a guys' night, where it's just like, let's just get the guys together. Let's have you guys meet, because some of you don't even know each other. Like, I'd love to just do that and just have that energy for a little bit,
dude.
And then
it's
do
important.
a thing later on where I can bring everybody else.
It's important. Two things. First of all, on the subject of like difficulty making friends,
Yeah.
I see it now, but for some reason I never really had that problem in my adult life. Probably because I was meeting people for the first time, so they knew nothing about me.
Right.
But because I remember back in, high school was like hell. I still had my friends, but like deciding, like pointing at someone, being like, you're my friend now. Like I can do that now.
Right.
But high school was rough. But I will say, for the first time in my life, I was at the gym right over there, right over there, and I had this like typical moment, because I've always said I think it's actually easier for guys to become friends than it is for girls. Girls, there's like this weird
Okay, yeah. I agree with that.
But because I think that we can connect on much simpler things.
Yeah.
So
But I think what I'll add with that is it's like snowboarding and skiing, where it's like with guys it's a lot easier to start a friendship. Like you just kick it. You're like, okay, yeah, I get you, you get me. Let's kick it. But then maintaining it and getting deeper into that.
It takes a certain type of guy.
Yeah.
So so I think like with guys, there's a degree of there's a different fragility in the relationships for men and women. So like women, it's fragile because a lot of times when shit does hit the fan, confronting it is something they don't do all that well. Yeah. But they do a good job of avoiding shit ever hitting the fan, which is good. Whereas with us,
because that's usually a buildup of like passive, emotions and little conflicts that you just kind of we either just avoid as guys, or we just like,
or we don't even notice it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the other thing with us is part of the value is the low investment. But then if you give that low investment long enough, eventually the idea of hashing something out is as simple as like just like cursing each other out for like 2 seconds, then being like, we good?
Right.
So there's no like lengthy grudge period.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was, I walked into the gym and I walked over to the, I feel like I'm the only guy, or at least I felt like I was the only guy on the planet who was still doing Smith machine incline press. And I walked over, and usually I walk to that machine and nobody's on it. There were 3 guys doing the exact exercise at my exact incline with my exact weight. And I was like, okay, this is weird. But I go to like start warming up right next to them just to like kind of wait in line. And I just kind of say to them, like, I thought I was the only guy left on earth doing Smith machine incline. And the one guy goes, nah, dude, it's the best. I go, dude, it is the best. And then he's like, yeah, man, by the way, I'm Dave. Like, and then like that, like all of a sudden we were in, and then he introduced the 2 other guys. I ended up working in for a set. And probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been like, be my friend, be my friend. But for the first time in my life, I thought to myself, you don't need more friends.
Right.
You have all of the deep-rooted friendships that you need right now. You know what?
I feel like there's a high to that though, right? Like every time you get that moment, you meet another guy, another friend, it's just like, ooh, what could this be?
Yeah,
this could be another.
Yeah, I was like, do I need another guy I can go to the gym with? I don't think I do. Like Dave has his 2 buddies, and I think Like what am I gonna do?
He's locked in.
What am I gonna do? Get his
Solid.
number, and then like we're gonna be like, yeah, man, let's get a coffee sometime, and then never get coffee. Like so. But
That's funny.
So that I thought was funny for the first time ever.
Yeah.
There was that. But to your point about like guys needing their guys' night, that kind of thing. I was just talking to Billy Ray about this the other day. And I was talking to Nick about it too.
Yeah.
If you were to just observe, like the sort of the older generations, and this is something that doesn't really change. It seems like every single new old generation does this. I look at my parents, they're retired, they live in Naples.
Yeah.
And every day, people in their neighborhood, including them, it starts off, good morning, honey, coffee, breakfast together in the house.
Yeah.
They're like reading their book, they're watching their news, doing whatever. Then all of a sudden, like 11:30 rolls around. Dad goes to hit golf balls or play some golf with the boys.
Yeah.
Mom goes to the pool to have a couple drinks and hang out with the girls. That's what they do for the next like 4, 5, 6 hours. They come home, both of them are showering. Hey, how'd you shoot? Hey, how are the girls? Blah, blah, blah. And then at night, it's either you go out to dinner and you run into people, or like you have a gathering in a house and it's a meal and drinks and all this. And then even at the end of all that, the women navigate to be with each other by the end of the night. The men navigate to be with each other by the end of the night. Like the men with the brandies, the women talking gossip over the wine. Like, and then when they all go their separate ways, the man and the woman come back together. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
Love you so much. Can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Like,
Good night,
dude,
kiss,
there's
and go to bed.
Yeah, dude, there's an accordion effect with the sexes. Like I have always said, and this is actually something with Billy Ray that I've had to work on, is she loves spending quality time with me. And I think that's a very typical thing of girls. Girls just like being with the guy they love.
Yeah.
Whereas guys are like, no, I love being around you and I would do anything for you, but also like I kind of got shit to do. Like, and I got to go do that shit or I'm gonna.
What do you think that is?
Crazy.
Because I feel like there's a lot of ways you can explain that, but what's your perspective on it?
I don't know. It's
like, let's say with guys specifically, especially, I feel like it's a conversation. Maybe that's my algorithm, your algorithm. You know what I mean? It's like we're just listening to this shit all day. But like, let's focus on the guys right now. What would you say as far as like, where is that distance? Why is that habit there? Or maybe the attachment?
I would say that there's more. I would say that guys have more inertia in that when they're doing something, they have to do it like to the fullest extent. So like when they're chilling, they want to be in full blown chill mode. When they feel the desire, when that inertia starts to kind of like wear off and they feel like they got to get moving again, they got to go move. I don't think they have the same degree of like crazy sporadic, do anything, be super dynamic, multitask. Like we're not like women are definitely better multitaskers.
Oh,
than
yeah,
us,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like as a guy, there's certain just responsibilities, duties. I think there's also this odd draw to some sort of like weird competitive struggle of some kind. I don't know what exactly it is, but there's always.
Now we are generalizing, right? But it's like, but it is a truth, and I would say a bigger truth than the alternative. Like it is a spectrum, but it's like what you're saying is what I typically see with guys.
Yeah, I just feel like the other aspect of this, and again, Billy Ray and I have talked about this kind of frequently.
Yeah.
There are so many things, and I would love to be able to make a list of it and like actually think about it. There are so many things that guys just get, and like the way they feel, the way they do things, like things that just make sense or are obvious to a guy, girls can't even remotely wrap their head around. And then it's the same exact thing for girls. So like you ever hear girls talk about like, wait, are you not getting the vibe from this? Right. Like girls always talk about how they have the vibe. It's like, no, we get vibes too, but not like girls. Like a guy will never understand the way that girls talk about just getting a vibe from somebody. Yeah. Where they're just like, no, like I know this feeling. Like you have to just trust beyond this feeling. Whereas girls, will never understand, like, as a guy, it's like, oh wait, you don't also just want to like have sex all day, literally all day. So female can't understand like the male sex drive. Men can't understand the woman's sex drive. Men can't understand like the vibe. Girls can't understand the idea that I could sit in front of a TV all day and be like, that's not holding, like to a football game, right? Or that we just want to sit down and watch Dune and not talk to each other for literally 2.5 hours. Like, where she's like, hey, do you want some popcorn, honey? Like, some like, no, is there anything I can get for you? Yeah, just let me watch the movie.
Just sit down, watch it with me. Come on.
So like, I think what it really boils down to is we're just different, and sometimes just being around the people who get you, and that goes for girls and guys, and then occasionally coming back, not occasionally, I should say, then coming back to the person who sort of fulfills you, completes you, so to speak, provides you with new perspective, new duty, new responsibility, I think is like the definition of growth as a human. It's like, I
agree, because I think, again, it's like going back to how you're just saying about, prior generations, you would have this dynamic of like, starting your morning, you kind of go away, but then you come back. I think maybe even nowadays, even though the amount of relationships happening is kind of declining, like committed relationships, but the dynamic is becoming more like attached, where it's like you get comfortable with each other so much that you're just spending so much time together. Even it's not a good or bad thing, but it's like you end up spending so much time together. And part of it could be because now there's, a guy and a girl both pursuing careers. They're both so busy that it's like, it's just easy to be together all the time. And you know what I mean? It's like efficiency.
Well, I think also, one, the fact that the responsibility of, first of all, not a lot of people go into an office anymore. I think that's what, like, I've said.
Well, at least our circle. I keep thinking that, but I'm realizing it's like a lot of companies did push people to come back, and you know what I mean? It's like,
sure. But I still think that, I think for the most part, nowadays, if you were to just grab, let's say you grab the average college-educated couple under the age of 45.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to assume that, like, maybe it's not safe to assume, but at least to me, like, having lived in multiple different cities, having multiple friends who are married, this type of thing, odds are those people probably have a job that they can do remotely. Because they can do it via calls, they can do it via Zoom, they can maybe occasionally get in the car to go to like an event to go do something, but it's not this thing where they have to go into the office all day, every day. They're not commuting to work, that kind of thing. And if that's your life, that means that like in between meetings, you're spending time with your spouse. I mean, I definitely do this with Billy Ray, right? I mean, she's a content creator, she works from home. I do tech sales, I work from home. Which, by the way, also creates this odd inertia to be like, hey, I'd like to miss you for like a couple hours.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. It's like getting too comfortable. We're spending so much time together. Yeah,
it's almost as if the I don't know what it is, because we like novelty. So the idea of like spending time away from each other should be like this very attractive
It is a skill
thing.
set in a way too. You have to practice that. I think a lot of people, again, there's so many reasons for it. You get this, it can be your upbringing, your love language, your attachment style. It's like,
there could also just be guilt. It's like, I feel like I'm supposed to be spending time with this person.
But it is a conditioning, right, is the point that I'm making. And it's like, you do have to be, one, mindful of that. It's like, if you feel like that novelty is going away, it's slipping, or even non-existent. I think a lot of times people don't even, I mean, this is why people end up cheating, or like they'll just tap out and move on to the next. Like, okay, FOMO, like there's someone else out there, right? But it's like, no, it's actually just that you're not practicing keeping novelty in the relationship. Like, it's either not a thought that you have, or you don't know how to do it or communicate it. So it's like, I think that is, again, it's like a skill set that you really have to learn, but also practice together to keep like it's like everything else in life. It's like it's a balancing act. You're dancing. It's like you need to. You can't always just be this all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything that isn't involuntary is going to require muscle memory and practice to a certain extent, right? Exactly. So it's like I don't need to. Well, I shouldn't say this. Some people need to practice their breathing, but I don't need to practice breathing, right? My body's going to breathe.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people. Actually, even me. It's like I broke my nose, and it's funny. I never thought about it until now, but my doctor even told me back then. He was like, "You're fine. You don't need to get surgery, but." You might have some trouble breathing later down the line. And my dad is sitting there, and he's just like, okay, that's fine. good, no surgery. Like he's just thinking in the moment, no surgery, doesn't have to worry about anything.
So he's fine.
He's fine. He's fine.
Nice.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, I definitely broke my nose when I was boxing in my early 20s. Oh, yeah. Never got surgery. so I don't know.
Right.
I've done fine.
Yeah. Let's do a little intermission here because I did a setup. There's two parts to this. So there's the podcast, but then I actually want to meet with that person again afterwards. Ideally, I should set it up where it's like before, where I do meet them for an hour and do like a day in the life, like get B-roll of who they are, what they do, what their life is like. And then make that into the 30-second intro of the podcast. So the whole idea is like, okay, frame the guest. They can, it's like, give the audience an idea of who this person is, rather than like having the intro of like, okay, who are you? Like, what do you do? Where are you? You know what I mean? It's like, give that foundation, and then let the conversation just start, like a little bit deep into the like what we just did.
Yeah.
It won't be the very beginning, but it'll be like when it starts to flow. And it's just like that's when it just starts. And then
I like that.
It's just but it's a lot of work. That's the thing. Like, that's where I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna
Control K, Control K, Control K, Control K.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Are we rolling again?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool.
But how you been, man? What's going on? What do you focus on right now? What are you spending your time thinking about? Where's your attention?
Hemingway.
Yeah. Okay, well, that is, But go, bring all that in.
No, well, first of all, I know I mentioned this to Nick yesterday, but I don't know if I mentioned it to you, that I finally got, so I've been heads down with work.
Yeah.
Like, just, so first of all, I'm fortunate to be, in terms of like growth as like a tech guy, like tech sales, all this stuff.
What industry is this? Like,
I'm in like generative AI, like people don't, like all the ChatGPT stuff. Like I'm in that. So it's I'm blessed to be having the conversations that I'm having, to learning the skills that I'm learning, meeting the people that I'm meeting. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's just that right now I work for a company where I'm one of 3 people servicing the globe for sales, and our demand is insanely high. Like we have a guy on the West Coast who does business in India and Japan. We got a guy on the East Coast who's, occasionally doing like Moscow. Oh yeah. Like so like literally like the crossover is. Right. And I'm the only guy who does my job, so I service all of it.
Gotcha. So what's your, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but like what's your take on, I mean, I have a feeling, but I feel like this is like a social media, again, maybe it's my algorithm, but it's this idea, this trendy idea of entrepreneurship and leaving your miserable 9 to 5 and going all in and being free. It's like, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like it's just become too popularized. Like it's just too like I don't know.
Well, I did it.
Right.
I did it. Not necessarily in the way that I wanted to, because I got laid off. Again, tech market 2023. I got laid off. And when the market was just dead, like nobody was hiring. Yeah. I was like, well, I've kind of been on this path with a little bit of social media and trying to maybe start a business and do all this, so I might as well just, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it now. Like you're thrown to the wolves, but you got to figure it out.
A lot of people around that time.
Yeah, and I did it. And when you first start, and you're like, oh, I've got like a little bit of severance, and you know, I've got another person who's making a little bit of money in the family, and you know, I've got some time to like kind of put this together and get it out there, and Then all of a sudden it starts to roll, and you're like, oh wait, like I have to do marketing every day. Oh, I have to do outreach every day. Oh, I have to figure out, I can no longer do a full 1 minute video. I now need to do 55 seconds with a 5-second plug at the end. Wait, am I doing this just to promote my business, or am I doing it because you start to like, and then you also don't even really know if you're going to enjoy, you know, this idealized vision of doing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that a lot of people learn is like, no, I think this is kind of in the realm of what I want to do, but what I'm actually doing right now is not what I want to do. So for me, it became, you're not free. Like you said, like the idea of like, get out of this and be free.
But that's the sales pitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
you're not free. You're not free. You have a degree of autonomy, but people always talk about this idea of like you're, like why be a slave to some boss when you can just like be your own boss? It's like, okay, I'm a slave to a boss if I'm working for a company, but guess what? I'm a slave to the needs of my customers the moment that I
client,
become,
to every
so like
it's like
so you are, trust me, sir, you are not free. You have to really, really, really love what you do to be willing to grind it out every day.
And that's what it boils down to, even if it's a 9-to-5 or your own business.
Yeah.
Like there are good 9-to-5s. Like if there is a company, or, you know, an organization that you feel passionate about, and it's a 9-to-5, and you feel like you're contributing. And
I think the most important thing, and this is where my head's at right now, is currently my day-to-day in my job right now is not ideal. Like I am overwhelmed. In fact, I just met with my CFO yesterday because that's how small of a company it is. And I was like, I told him, I said, I'm at capacity here. Like we gotta redistribute some of the workload here because otherwise I'm going to be tapped out and I won't, or capped out, and I won't be able to do the job effectively. And eventually the call turned into, by the way, Dan, we have noticed this and we appreciate the work that you're doing, and me and the CEO put together a one-pager with like a path to promotion for you over the next like 6 months. So like optics are good, path is good, skill sets elevating, leadership is coming for me, which is really what I love to do, because you know that. But you have to, I've realized you can turn anything into something that you are excited about if you can just make like the temporary North Star something that like excites you. The idea of if you realize that like a promotion is like very much within reach, all of a sudden like the stuff that you hate doing day to day, you're gonna be jazzed to do that stuff, knowing that it's like just a couple of steps until you're at the promised land, right? And then all of a sudden,
you need that light at the end of the tunnel.
And then you did this. You did this with your career. You were like, I kind of want to morph and sculpt this weird kind of like specialization that I know I'm good at with a customer that I enjoy working with. And you did it. Like you actually did it, which is great. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to, because it's such a small company, I'm like, I'm going to tell them exactly what I want to do and where I can best help the business. And then all of a sudden, like one thing that's super fulfilling as a human being, and you learn this as you get older, is if you just take on more responsibility, you start to feel more fulfilled. Like meaning, what's the meaning of life? Jordan Peterson said this, like meaning and responsibility, it's the same thing, like, right? So I think he said, it's the same damn thing.
There you go.
But
That's funny.
But yeah, like I think if you were to tell me like, what's your dream job? It's not what I'm doing right now.
Right.
But
what are you working towards?
But I'm working towards something that is going to be truly, truly like, I would say it's going to be a job that I truly enjoy, which is actually leading a team of people towards a shared goal of success. It's going to be having some degree of executive power and pull to be a leader amongst other leaders.
Where is that? So, because that's a very specific, like you've said it a couple times now, this desire to be a leader.
Yeah.
That's not a common desire. I mean, you could say that in some spheres, it's the glamorized, thing. But for you personally, where does that desire for leadership come from? Where do you think it comes from?
I don't know exactly. I would say that in general, if I want to get a little bit sort of, I know how the world works for a second, I think I'm 34 now. Theoretically speaking, I probably should have been a father at this point. And I think that
especially back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the timeline they used.
And that's going to be fairly soon for me.
Right.
But it's I feel like when you're the moment you become a father, de facto you are a leader now, right? And I feel like
you're called forth.
It's like you don't have a choice anymore, buddy, right? So
Can't fuck around.
Well, technically, you do have a choice, but you're a piece of shit if you don't take it. So, but like you're called forth to a much greater thing where you actually do need to start being the example and not only the example, but the empowerment, the injection of empowerment into another group of people, the inspiration for other people, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I had that urge at this age, and all of a sudden I found this desire and because I have like my brotherhood that I run and all this stuff.
I wanted to actually talk about that.
Yeah, but but I think I just had this urge to guide, to coach. That was part of the business that I had opened up, was coaching, obviously. And
does any of that come from your upbringing, your parents, your dad, your mom?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I was not a leader growing up. I did not have this skill set. I didn't know how to take the lead. I didn't know how to. Sounds like a weird thing to say.
So it's not something that you like watched your dad do or your mom do, and then had this idea.
No, I never had these aspirations of like being the boss or something like that.
Gotcha.
It was. It's more that I think I have felt the sensation of having someone look to me for guidance.
Yeah.
Provide them with guidance, not just like a piece of wisdom, but really work with them for a long period of time and watched them grow.
Yeah.
And even on occasion received appreciation, because I'm working with a lot of adults, so adults are not kids. They're not just like.
Well, let's get into that, because the brotherhood that you mentioned, like how did that start? I mean, I think it started around COVID time, right? You were talking about how.
No. This was the brotherhood's been around a little more than. I'm trying to think. It's probably been around for like almost a year and a half at this point.
Oh, it's new.
It's pretty new. Yeah, because it
I thought
started.
You were doing that for a while.
No, it started when I opened up the coaching business, like the dating, masculinity, like all that stuff. Which totally different conversation as to why I stopped that.
We might pick on that because I just talked to Justin, the dating.
Justin Harder,
dating photographer, at a conversation with him.
Yeah.
We might need to go into that later on, but keep going.
So we, but yeah, with the brotherhood, it stemmed off of my social media following, because I didn't like that I had to charge. I thought that a lot of the clientele that I was going to be working with were people like you and Nick, like guys. It's like, oh, we have our shit together, but for some reason, just like dating isn't clicking the way that we thought. Like I'd love for you to like take me to the next level, because that was most of the people that I talked to who told me, dude, you have like a gift for how to like coach guys on how to like really embrace themselves and project the image they want to project. And then also like how to understand women a little bit better, all that. But then I started to realize that the advice that I was given, that so many of these younger guys were coming to me for, was so rudimentary. I was like, I can't charge these guys the rate that I'm charging for such simple advice. It just felt wrong. Like a part of it just felt
Really?
wrong. So I ended up trying to figure out, like,
I mean, but is that? I'm curious. Well, why did you think it was something you didn't feel the need to charge?
the idea
Isn't it still bringing value?
the idea of telling somebody, you need to change the way you dress and you need to hit the gym more, and being like, give me $400 is like,
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, the $400 maybe not, but the first two, it's like a lot of people need to hear that. It sounds so simple for us.
So this is the thing. Like Nick told me this before. He said, it might seem odd to you, but so many men actually don't have anyone to talk to about any of this, and it's worth that
for
to them.
anyone to push them, anyone even, I mean,
But
we are known as a fatherless society, right? It's like there's so much that plays into that.
But that is actually what spurred the brotherhood, because I realized, wait, that's true. It's funny, Nick was right, but he wasn't right about the fact that I had to now take money from those people. He made me realize, oh, there's a bigger problem. The bigger problem is that too many men don't have men to talk to about this.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea of the brotherhood came. And it originally started as, I'm hoping that I can grow this brotherhood into something that's like thousands of people, where, there's all these like, these corners of the brotherhood where like these guys get along and they hang out. And then there's like regional spin-offs of it and all this, and I can do like, but then I started to kind of hop on the calls with the 5 or 6 guys that joined.
Yeah.
And I started to realize, like, wait, this is actually so much better than turning this brotherhood into a business. It's so much better. Because I was originally charging like a Patreon, like $9.99 a month to like access to a Discord, and then like we would do like a weekly call. But then I realized I was having an impact on these 6 or 7 guys in a way that was like, I never thought I'd never thought I'd be able to do this. Like I realized there were this group of guys, the moment I opened the brotherhood up, that looked to me with such respect and had such a yearning to try to be better, and saw me as an example through which they could do it, that they were willing to just join my brotherhood, pay money to be in my brother. And I was like, I don't want to work with thousands of guys. I want to work with these guys.
Right.
And all of a sudden, that's what really made me start to, in a weird way, start to feel like a father. Like I started, like these guys showed up, they show up every week. I check in with them one-on-one. Every single one of them in the last 18 months has gotten way better. Even some of the ones that if you were to look on paper, you're like, wow, you're having a rough go right now.
What are some examples? Like, what's an example of?
I mean,
without obviously giving too much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have one kid who is like, he's in the brotherhood and he has like quintessential obvious Asperger's, like, and he's actually really funny about it. Like every once in a while, like we'll crack jokes and we know that he's like not good with his sense of humor. So every once in a while when he makes a joke or he's sarcastic, we'll be like, oh, we're gonna make a neurotypical out of you, and he's like, I would never want to be that. I'm an Aspie for life. Like he's just like, so he's like, he leans into it. He likes it. But he's obviously he's very literal, hyper logical. He's a genius. He's super intelligent, but he's not the type who's going to sit there and kind of be like, yeah, I'm good. Like if he's not feeling good, he's going to tell you that he's not good. Right. And he can be at times very pessimistic, and he's never going to lie to you about how he's feeling. So sometimes the calls can get dragged down a little bit by his life experience or like what he's going through, or sometimes like he'll just get going on something and he really just wants to dig in, and because he actually gets me thinking a lot, because I have to be very patient and very particular with how I communicate with him. And between the calls and our one-on-one time, he's gone from someone who used to have like these really like angry, bitter outbursts because he would just get triggered by something because he was so lonely, or he was having such a lack of success with dating, or he felt like there were people he has this weird thing where like if he comes across people on the internet who are pushing an idea that kind of goes against something that he believes, he just sees it as like something that's going against like his image, and he's just angry that he can't stop it, like things that are out of his control. He's a control freak. And through a lot of this one-on-one time, I was like, hey, like, is there any way that we can get you to kind of like release a little bit of control, or like work on a little bit of perspective? And I started to communicate with him. I understand that there might be a little bit of a divide between me being someone who's, you know, neurotypical versus you who's like Asperger's, autistic, all this stuff. But like, I want you, if I'm going to have empathy for you, I need you to have a little empathy for me too. And I kind of challenged him on that. And all of a sudden, he started to take very seriously. And it was funny, he would text me like an example of something he'd see on Twitter. He'd be like, okay, so the old me would have said this, but I'm going to try to practice doing something. And then he would do it. And now all of a sudden, months down the road, you hear him. And even on a bad day, he's just got more life to him. There's like more vibrancy. He used to get like, if he was lucky, a date per year.
Yeah.
Now he's just like, hey Dan, like I'm dating this one girl, but I also have this other girl who might want to go on a date with me. I don't really know what to do. And I'm just like, dude, you pimp, like what the hell's going on? Right? Like, and like that's what we say in the brotherhood. We're just like, who's this guy? and sometimes you have to like shape it and be like, hey, dude, side by side. Like, look at your life now. Look at what your life used to be. I understand that life still isn't perfect, but life's never going to be perfect. And
yeah, we really need a minute sometimes to like look back at how far we've come.
Yeah, well,
we get so caught up in where we're at and where we're trying to be. Like we forget.
But that right there, that right there is the way I feel about him and other guys in the brotherhood. It has to be the way that you feel as a father. Like to a certain, only when you're a father and it's your kin, it's just like a next level. So being in this brotherhood has taken like leadership skills, where you're not trying to solve problems for people. You're trying to just like empower them to go like live a good, meaningful, fulfilling life.
Nurture.
It's like I don't want you to be me. Don't join my brotherhood to be me. Like join my brotherhood to understand the things that I do that make me happy, and then apply them to your life. Plug and play. Like put your own parameters in. And I think something that's been kind of eye-opening for me is that pretty much, how do I say this? Every Thursday, I have these guys join in for a call, and there are some days where they all want to ask me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And there are other days where they literally sit down. I have a conversation with one of them while four others listen. And those four are just like, I'll be like, hey guys, sorry you didn't get a chance to talk. They were just like, dude, this is like the greatest podcast on earth, right?
Yeah.
And when you realize that there's just people that are kind of hanging on your every word, like they're almost looking at you, and you got to be careful with this, but when you almost start to realize that you're kind of a hero to these people, it starts to level you up in a way where you start to have to live your life where your words are, where your actions are matching your words. You have to actually step up.
Responsibility.
There's no more superficial, surface level stuff. You have to have the receipts. If you're going to preach something, you've got to live it. And that, along with being in like the relationship that I'm going to be in for the rest of my life with the girl that I feel this obligation, this duty to take care of, this desire to be a father, and I think just general maturity, like all of a sudden you start to realize, oh, happiness is nothing more than actually liking who you are as a person. And liking who you are as a person just comes down to actions matching words. And as long as you're preaching all the right things and you're actually doing the things that you preach, you're probably going to be a pretty happy guy. And the more people you start to realize don't actually do that, And the more you realize that you're actually kind of unique in the sense that you do this.
I think that's why you and I even became friends.
Probably
we did, but it's like we
hey, we should get coffee,
very rare,
and we actually did.
Exactly, and it's like, but also because we share these values that now feel like are a rarity, at least in our physical reality, right? Like where we are, and social media. It's just like it's been this massive flip between what used to be traditional committed relationships, family, having children, raising them. Now it's been a complete flip where it's like, no, that's holding us back. I need to pursue myself and become big and successful and try to reach for this thing because everything else is getting in my way.
The ultimate narcissism.
Is gone. Yeah, exactly. It's like full on fucking narcissism. And it's just, but I feel like it's also like that was kind of an experiment that happened with this technological wave.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing it reverse back. We're just like, oh, hold on.
Well, it's
not
also
as fulfilling and meaningful as I thought it was going to be.
So I've made this comment to you before, like especially from my readings, but I've realized there is people talk about society in the context of pendulum swinging back and forth. Mm-hmm. That's actually the sub analogy to the real analogy. And I've told you, I think the society is more of a phoenix, where it's born from ashes, it grows, it starts to get older, and then it gets a little older, and as it starts to wither, it eventually withers into ash before it rises up again. Mm-hmm. That's why we just always see the same patterns historically, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, I do think that there is a pendulum effect, but it's with individual things, not with society as a whole. And that whole idea of this little experiment where we all just sort of became narcissistic for a second, we started to realize, yes, there was an issue with previous generations where even though they might have nailed the concept of duty, selflessness, family, whatever you want to call all that, they didn't live that part of their life as richly and as fulfilled as they could have, because they didn't actually do the work to realize what was wrong with themselves, to fix those things, to make life better for those people. But then it turned into, you can't waste your time on others until you love yourself. But then it became, you should never stop loving yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, well, what do you mean by love yourself? And then, and now it's like, okay, well, I get it, you love yourself, but now you're 40, so like, are you ready? like what's going on? You ready to love somebody else yet?
That's awesome. No, but I keep, on that same note, I keep telling people this, I'm like, it's become such a fashion trend to, the self-help, to be working on yourself all the time, and it's like, that's not where it ends. I keep telling people, it's like, that's just the starting point. Like, you start with the self, but then you expand, you give, you help others. You
become the overflowing cup.
I mean? Right. It's like, but it's just, we're just in a place right now where everyone is just fixated on the self. And our society, social media, like it's feeding into that. It's like, oh no, do more of that.
The
Become
best
an influencer.
Context.
Here's some ad money. Here's like, keep it going.
The best context for this, and I learned this reading, so I'm probably about a quarter of the way through the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, which is...
Yeah, you've been on a reading fucking
yes,
bender,
I have.
Man.
Yes, I have.
How many books? Hold on. Okay. You started this, 2-3 weeks ago?
I'm now reading multiple books at the same time. No. That's where I'm at.
But you started like a couple weeks ago, and how many books have you ordered at this point?
Ordered? Probably like...
Let's be real.
I'm going to say like 15. Something like that.
Oh, man.
But starting on... Since February 9th, and it's March, what's today, 15th? Mm-hmm. I think. I've read 14 books in that time frame. So, and some of them it's like I read like one at night, I read one during the day, I have some short stories, I have this, I have that, but a lot of these books have been like short novellas, and I will literally read them in like a couple of hours. So, but either way, with Screw Tape Letters, it's really cool. So the idea, I think I might have told you this, there's this demon who's writing letters to his nephew.
I don't think you need to tell me.
So Screw Tape is the name of the demon who's writing the letters.
Okay.
And he's a demon, works on behalf of the devil.
Yeah.
And he's writing advisory letters to his nephew who's trying to infect a human with his evil on Earth. So he's writing as though he's trying to like coach him on like, no, you're trying too hard. Here's how you actually like manipulate a human into like doing. So that's the idea. It's like he's and it shows a much more vivid picture of how the devil actually works. It's not just like fire and hell and war and all this stuff. In fact, one of the letters is about how war is not necessarily the work of the devil, because war is sometimes an act of God to get people closer to him. It's like a weird kind of thing, but if you read it, it makes sense the way it writes it. But one of the letters, multiple of the letters, but one of them in particular has to do with prayer. And when I read it, it actually coincided with a conversation that I'd had with somebody recently, where I said, I think I'm starting to understand prayer because I'm starting to realize that it's not actually about me. And when I read the thing from C.S. Lewis, it hammered it home, and I realized, and this is exactly what we were just talking about, if you stop thinking about it in the context of the self, you start to realize, what do I actually pray for? Do I pray, if you're a religious person who actually has a prayer practice, what are you doing? Are you praying for a new job? Are you praying for a good grade on a test? Are you praying for some girl to like you? What are you praying for? And it's like, no, actually, that's not what you do. When you really start to figure out what prayer is about, it's nothing more than you establishing, affirming, and submitting to the connection with God. And what that means is that you don't actually ask for material things. You ask him to simply watch over you. You submit to the idea, I don't see you, I can't possibly know you, and yet I have faith and completely accept and submit myself to the idea that you're here, and that you are the one who has final say, who guides me, who has the plan for me, who has all this stuff. Right. And when you realize that, you start to realize that even your prayer, it's not about you, it's about him. It's like, I believe in you. I know that you want what's best for me. And I can tell you what I think is best for me is that my family is healthy, that I'm more prosperous so that I can support that family. I'm kind and considerate so that I'm not hurting the people around me. And all I ask is that you give me what I need. Even in the bad times, I accept that these bad times are just simply things that you've put in front of me as tests so that I can grow. Like, you just start to do that. It becomes an external thing. It becomes the things that are happening to me, and even the moments that I'm spending growing, maturing, learning more about how my brain works, how I react to things, what my weaknesses are. Me learning about my weaknesses, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it with the assistance of like some greater power, so that I can then, to go full-blown religious, live a life in the image of God, right? Right. And that's the overflowing cup. The overflowing cup is you constantly submit yourself to the idea that the world is going to give you messages. God is going to give you doors to walk through. He's going to give you moments that if you just become mindful and aware of them, you can always learn something from it.
100%. And that right there, yeah.
And if you think, and if you realize that you can do that while simultaneously being in love, having a job, having a family, having friends, you actually realize that the only way that it's one thing to be mindful, it's one thing to point these things out, it's another thing to actually learn the lesson from the things you learn and put it into practice with the people that actually matter, right? And you're never going to actually know whether or not you've truly changed or that you're truly living up to this image until you actually notice and receive the feedback. Like, is what I'm putting out into the world resulting in sort of the image of the world that I'm striving for?
That's actually a relationship that I've been noticing is going back to the whole, this kind of wave, this experiment of a generation where we've committed to ourselves fully and at the cost of everything else. It's like I'm at a point in my life where I've reversed that, and being in a place the way you just described it, where it's like I have a relationship, I have a career, I have a dream that I'm pursuing, I have friends who I'm holding on to, like I'm intentionally building relationships. It's like there was the version of me that was just that guy alone, pursuing the thing he wants to pursue. I mean, to me, it was a little bit different. I didn't really have that vision, but it was like I was looking for it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm talking about the people that they go for it at all costs. And there was a level of, you get that constant immediate feedback when you're committed to some career or work, right? It's just like you're not dealing with emotions, you're not dealing with liability, responsibility, all of that in a human emotional sense. But it's like, but there was still a sense of loneliness in that life. And I see it in others when I hear about, their life story, in podcasts, things like that. But ever since I've switched that role where I'm not acting, but I'm living my life and putting myself out there in these different aspects of life, I feel more fulfilled than ever. Even if I'm being restricted in a way, like I'm having to manage my time more, because then it's like, okay, I gotta spend time with my girlfriend, I gotta spend time with my family, checking on them, I gotta spend time just with my health, going to the gym, making sure all that is still there while pursuing this dream. That has felt more fulfilling and meaningful in every way than just being the person that's going all in at the cost of everything else.
Well, I do think about it in terms of a sports analogy.
Yeah.
If you, imagine you want to be the best, I don't know, I'll just use football, right? Imagine you want to be the best football player or basketball. I know you're more of a baller, so we'll go basketball.
Basketball.
So imagine you're like, I'm going to be the best basketball player ever. And you go, okay, what do I need to do to be the best basketball player ever? Okay, well, I'm going to increase my vertical jump by 10 inches. I'm going to improve my 40-yard dash by, half a second. I'm going to improve my jump shot. I'm going to improve my free throws. I'm going to become the best three-point shooter. I'm going to be able to do all these things. My crossover dribble, my through the legs, behind the back, all this stuff. I'm going to have the best handles ever. And you just dedicate a decade to just becoming the best, most amazing, skilled basketball player ever. And you're like, okay, I'm the best basketball player ever. It's like, okay, there's LeBron James. Beat him. It's like, wait, what do you mean beat him? Oh, wait, I need to take a jump shot with a contested hand in my face? That's it.
Right,
that's this whole thing.
That's
it's
good.
It's no, dude, don't you realize I do my yoga and I go to the gym and I have my meditation practice and I eat this amazing food and my sleep is perfect and I do this. It's okay, but do you want to be a father and have kids? Yeah, of course. Okay, well, there's your woman. She's right there. She loves you. You realize that some days she's going to be sick and you might need to stay up a little bit later and take care of her. You're going to be okay getting only 7 hours instead of 8 hours?
Right.
Okay, you realize that, you love her and you're having this amazing time with her, but sometimes she's going to have a bad day. Are you going to be able to have a good day even though she's having a bad day? Or is your happiness completely dependent on hers now? Remember oh, wait a second. Now you're starting to lose the thread because you're too caught up on her. Oh, do you need to go do a 5-day silent retreat? How do you think she's going to feel about that? You're just going to leave her for 5 days because she's bothering you? You can't just sit here and... Dude, this is the whole idea. Andy Galpin talked about this. He's a big personal trainer, physiologist.
Okay.
He says, you're either optimizing or you're adapting. He says, you're never doing both at the same time.
Right.
You're either optimizing or you're adapting. And life is way more about adaptability than it is about optimizing yourself. You optimize temporarily to prepare yourself for the moment.
Right, there's phases where you can make the time for optimization, but that can't be forever. You can't
it's like, even like I watch a lot of cycling. Like you could theoretically be
like, what do you mean?
like
just like
road, like Tour de France, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I got you.
Like these guys, they could just go on the bike and make themselves as fast as possible, and then just like enter the Tour de France with the best fitness they could possibly imagine. Problem is, there's a racing component. You don't just go as fast as you can. You have to race against people. So guess what? Over the part of their training is actually being in races.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh, I have my yoga, my gym, my job, my friend group, my all this stuff. But all the things that energize me from that, I need to figure out how to actually practically apply that to my relationship, my kids, my parents that I don't talk to enough, like whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah, the whole idea, balance, right? Like what are we talking about?
It's like we're talking about.
It's all it is.
The past 20 minutes, it's just like balance.
But it is true, right? Like there's this. The pendulum. You're right. Social media, modern era. I think it has resulted in that pendulum being way less of like a settle in the middle temporarily, and it's more just like boom.
It's extremes. We're operating on extremes, and that's
over and over again. It's more like a wrecking ball.
Operates.
It's more like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, yeah, that's the whole idea.
That's the meaning of life.
That is the meaning of life. I'm gonna write a book about it.
And that's gonna be a conversation for another one, for sure, man. Yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up right here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Cheers, man.
Cheers with my empty cup that I just finished.
That's perfect.
Yep.
From start to finish. There you go.